that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one.
Traveler. Okay.
All right, guys, today we've got a sovereign citizen in court, and believe it or not, this one actually asked for an attorney. Progress? Maybe. But don't get too excited, because he's still fully entrenched in that classic sovereign citizen mindset. This guy was pulled over for driving without a license, had a plate that literally just said traveler, and, of course, resisted arrest. Because what's a sovereign citizen case without some unnecessary struggle, right? Now, here's where things get extra interesting. His court appearance is surprisingly entertaining, and his dynamic with the attorney? Super odd. They're having this awkwardly touchy-feely interaction that just seems off. Maybe it's just me, but something about it feels weird. Anyway, let's dive in. Let me know what you think about this one, especially the attorney. I'm curious if anyone else finds it as bizarre as I do.
She and I have already discussed it on this case, and we just both want you to hear the PC, if we can, Judge.
Okay.
And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge. Right.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide...
Traveler. Okay.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information, stating, "I do not consent to this." Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate, think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
In this situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right. You know what I mean? That's real life.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere. That was not. He was concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know, did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor. In this situation, it wasn't as if he was intentionally.
Remember, this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
so
I agree.
They ask you to come out of the car one time. Yeah, it's really that's. So, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that? How do we deal with that, Timberland?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration, we have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police, so I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from when I was grown up what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration, number one, from his perspective.
Are you serious right now? My attorney is actually pulling the race card, and believe it or not, that's not even the wildest thing she's doing. I mean, aside from that, she's basically smothering me like it's her full-time job. It's honestly insane. Like, is this my attorney or my mom? Because the way she's hovering over me and coddling me in court is next level bizarre. And tell me how you're going to argue that the police didn't have probable cause. They literally told me to get out of the car. Newsflash, when the cops say step out, and they've got a reason, even a halfway legit one, you step out. Especially when your license plate literally says traveler. That kind of makes it real obvious what mindset we're working with here. Look, I get it, sovereign citizens have some, let's call them unconventional views. But even the judge isn't buying this circus act. And it's Judge Fur, too. That guy doesn't hand out freebies. I highly doubt he's going to offer any special treatment to someone who straight up ghosted court like they're above the law. Because that's exactly what I look like right now, someone pretending none of this ever happened. And now the defense is playing the race card like it's going to magically erase the fact that I didn't have a license, had a fake plate, and resisted arrest. There's no way I'm walking out of here clean. Not with this attorney, seriously. What is her deal? Is she representing me or babysitting me? Let me know in the comments, have you ever seen a lawyer act like this in court? Because I've never seen anything like it. Alright, let's dive back in.
All defendants, can't just say this, but I do see that, from what I've known from this particular case and now in talking to him, I do believe that there is a sense of sometimes they just don't know. Sometimes they just don't. So I'm asking to reinstate his PR bond. I am now on the case. What you know about me, I'm a tight attorney. I run a tight ship. So, and by which of way I believe I can reach him and getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Daly? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now, do you have a Texas driver's license?
No, right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberlake, I'll reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy
I
today.
think the case is only 3 months old,
Yes,
so
sir.
you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. Really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works. And as a young Black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over.
Okay, this might be a hot take, but honestly, I'm kind of disappointed Judge Fleur didn't throw the book at this guy. Look, I'm not saying we need to go full law and order on every sovereign citizen that strolls into court, but come on, this guy. He skipped court, resisted arrest like his life depended on it, and was cruising around with a license plate that looked like it was made in Microsoft Paint. And let's be real, for most people, failing to appear in court can land you with extra charges or even a contempt warrant. Then add resisting arrest. That's a whole separate charge right there. This case was practically tailor-made for a tougher sentence. Instead, he walks away with what felt like a slap on the wrist. Just disappointing. But let's talk about what really threw me off, his attorney. I still can't get over how she was smothering him in court. Like seriously, was that his lawyer or his mom? I've never seen anything like it, and I've seen a lot of weird courtroom moments. I don't know her background, never seen her before, but that level of hand-holding in court just seemed unprofessional to me. I get it, this happened in Texas, and maybe that's just how things go down there. If anyone from Texas is watching this, feel free to let me know in the comments. But wow, easily one of the strangest court dynamics I've ever seen. And look, I'm not trying to start a firestorm here, but pulling the race card in this case? It just didn't make sense. I'm not racist, let's be very clear about that, but when your client literally has a homemade traveler plate and actively resisted police, it's hard to argue this was about race. That just felt like a desperate play. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up because honestly, this guy's case is making my brain hurt. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. But please, drop your thoughts in the comments. What did you think about the attorney's behavior? That's what I really want to know. Thanks so much for watching, and take care everybody.